All right, so in this video, I'm going to make all of your problems disappear. Once you understand this simple concept, you will have no problems in your life. And I know that sounds completely crazy, but let me explain. So, little story, short story. A few years ago, I used to work with this business. I was managing like their email marketing. I was doing a lot of funnel building, website stuff, automation stuff, just handling a lot of the back end technical marketing stuff for this company to try to bring them more clients, including their ads and stuff like that. And I helped them a lot. I improved a lot of stuff. I solved a lot of problems. And then I started to notice like one of the core problems with their business was just the content that they were putting out in social media, which is like where they get most of their clients and their leads and stuff. And the content just wasn't good. It just wasn't well scripted. It had bad hooks. The content was often boring. The editing was usually minimal or just absolutely terrible. And often they just didn't even have calls to action in the videos to try to drive traffic into the funnels that I was building. So over time, I reached out to them. I made some suggestions. I said, hey, I'll help you script content. I'll help you script hooks. I'll edit your videos or whatever. I'll just help you out. I'll improve your content so we can get more people in the door so that we can make some money for you guys. And they just were like, we're not really interested. We're good with our content. We think it's really good. We'll just give it some more time. And I just started getting really angry internally. Like it just felt like a weight on my shoulders because I was just like, this core problem with the business, it's just destroying everything. Doesn't matter what I do with the funnels and stuff. If they don't fix this content, none of it matters, right? So I was just getting angrier. I was just stressed out all the time over this stuff. And then I had an epiphany. And this concept, which I want to pass on to you, it just brought so much peace to my life. And so it basically boils down to this. The problems in your life that you're stressing about, all of them, fall into two categories. Category number one is the problems you control, stuff that you have direct influence over. And then obviously, category number two is the problems that you have no control over. So for example, the problems you can control. You make some kind of miscommunication with a client or a customer, the relationship in your life, a personal relationship, your views on social media, like the actual views that you personally are getting for your personal content, you do have control over that. You might blame the algorithm, but fundamentally, what gets you views on social media is improving the content, making better hooks, making better, stuff, and then combine that with consistency over time, and your views will improve. So it is something you can control. The number of new clients you close, like the money that comes in the door through your business, that's something you can control. Tech problems like a broken website, opt-in page, automation, stuff like that, you have direct control over that. Obviously, you can fix it. The money you spend, you're in control of your spending. Your weight, this is controversial, but your weight is a problem that you have complete control over. You're responsible for every calorie that you consume. And similar to that, your lack of sleep, barring some kind of genetic disease or something, illness that you have that you couldn't stop from happening, your sleep quality is something you have direct control over, right? And obviously, problems you cannot control, just some examples, what people think about you, other people's moods, politics, somebody got elected you don't like, you don't have control over that. You can vote as hard as you want. You can attend whatever rallies you want. You're one individual. You have no control. The economy, same thing. The market goes up, the market goes down. You have no direct influence. You are just one data point in the greater economy. You have no control. Tech problems like your internet, your power goes out, your computer crashes, your hard drive gets corrupted, like some of that kind of stuff, you really just have no control over. It just happens. The weather, obviously, no control over that. Traffic, you don't have control over traffic. Let's say you send an email with a typo or has a wrong link in it. Before you sent it, that was something you could control. But as soon as it's out there in the world, it's outside of your sphere of influence. If you broadcast an email to your list, it's no longer something you can control. It's already out there. And then other people's actions, you can't really control them. You can say, I would prefer if this was to happen, but you can't control people. It's outside of your control, right? When you break your problems into these two categories, it makes it much easier to see the bigger picture. So each of these two categories, there's two different ways of dealing with them. So let's start with the problems you cannot control. You need to realize that problems you cannot control aren't really problems at all. They're just things that happened. And then you perceive them afterward as a problem, right? So somebody got elected, and then now you created a story on top of that about how it relates to you and how it's somehow creating you a problem. That's just a narrative that you built in your mind. It's not a real problem. It's something that exists outside of your sphere of influence. And now you're trying to convince yourself that it's a problem. As soon as you get to a point in your life where you see the stuff that's happening outside of you as just stuff that's happening, like you truly let it go. If you just truly let it go, peace will wash over you. You will feel so relieved. A weight will lift off of you. You can't change it. Doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter what you say, doesn't matter if you pray, doesn't matter if you try, if you cry, if you lie, doesn't matter if you scream or shout or pout. You cannot control that stuff. So let it go. And when you let it go, you will find true peace. Now, let's go back to category one, the problems you can control. Miscommunications, you can fix that. You communicate badly to somebody, you can make it up to them. You can clarify what you meant. You can fix those relationships. Again, I talked about this. Your views on social media, you can control that. The clients that you have or don't have, that's a problem you can control. Any problems that appear that you control, you can also fix and solve. It's incredibly liberating to just embrace that concept. And problems that you control suddenly start feeling like they aren't even problems anymore. They just feel like potential opportunities or trials or life experiences that you just have to deal with. You control the problem and the solution, and that makes it feel like less of a problem. And so when you look at problems in your life like this, the ones you can control and the ones you can't control, the ones you can control, you have complete power over them. You can solve them. The ones you can't control, they're not even real problems. You're creating a narrative about them. You're trying to convince yourself that they're problems, but they're not. Just let them go. And when you understand this, you suddenly realize you don't really have problems, and you're going to be so much happier. It brought me so much peace, and I think it'll bring you peace too. If you found this video useful or helpful, hit the like button, hit subscribe. And if you're a business owner, you don't like the views you're getting on social media, you don't like the number of clients that you're getting or the amount of money you're making, you want to make more money, reach out to me. Book a call on the link below. That's the type of problem that I deal with. It's a problem that's in your sphere of influence, but you can choose to reach out to somebody like me to solve it for you, or you can solve it yourself. Either way, it's something you can fix. Thanks for watching.